So as you can see here, these are all my friends and family, and I'm very happy to call my brothers and sisters. So cheers to all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here.
How are you
and
doing?
if you haven't joined now, go to RI Defiance 1636.org. Sign yourself up and be a part of La Banda Bahia, baby. Let's go. Salud.
Love on stage. Don't go anywhere. Irvin's having his first ever Guinness. What do you think of it?
It's
He hates it.
something.
All right.
I would rather have cerveza, but that's okay.
Doesn't it taste better because it's free though?
So the best part is we're gonna start this with a little competition between the four of us here. So we're gonna see who can split the G. So Irvin, without putting your glass down in one gulp or series of gulps, you're gonna try to drink it down so you perfectly split the middle line in the G. Oh yeah, you are. Oh yeah, you are. Nope. It's you're either gonna go high, you're gonna go low.
It's the attempt.
It's the attempt that matters. So I'm gonna take this one from you. There we go.
Man, it's not a fun. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna see who comes the closest. Slancha.
Money's on Matt. Money's on Matt. All right. Fine.
Oh, I overshot it.
I
barely did.
Timmy's under.
Fuck.
Irvin didn't even take a sip of his.
I'm just saying.
I felt like a drink. What the fuck?
Gotta be.
Without Timmy's the only one outside of Irvin that didn't go over, but
yeah.
I don't know. So Timmy gets the win. Timmy gets a rare win. So
Yeah.
cheers to Timmy on that. Irvin, we'll send you packing with two. You don't want that one, but yeah, we'll take care of that for you for sure. All right. So next up, we're gonna kind of revisit a segment that we did with Matt Hands on Tide Talk, ranking the kits. So we're gonna go through each kit, and I would like to get your raise your hand, kind of give us a couple bit thoughts or your opinion on this kit. So we'll start with the Surge kit. We saw it at home for the first time this season. This was my number one. I think it's beautiful. Anyone thoughts on the Surge kit? Things you love, things you don't like. What do we got? Mac, what do you got?
I like the dark blue and the light blue mixed together.
Beautiful. Meryl.
The quality looks better than last year's print, at least texture wise and construction wise. So
Awesome. Zach,
I like the logo.
the logo, the badge looks really cool on this one. Even the name and number set, I'm a big fan of. I think it really popped on the field. It looked really good. We'll hit it up next to the Wave kit. Or any thoughts on the Wave kit?
wish the waves were more defined. Yeah.
More defined. I like
I
that.
think that's the only knock on it. I think it's our most uniquely Rhode Island kit that we have. I think the only thing keeping it from being an all-timer is even in this picture, even on the broadcast, it's hard to see the waves.
Yeah, sure.
I love it though.
Take the next.
Yeah, 100% agree. Any other thoughts on the wicket? It should have been that Zach 1-to-1 of the license plate.
Yeah, like that.
The old license.
I think it was inspired by it. That's why the writing on the back was up. That's a Rhode Island. It was inspired by it, but they missed a little bit. This is one would have been my favorite had it been darker. Zach, you have something to say?
I would take away to a little darker.
Waves are darker? Absolutely.
Yo.
Agreed. Anyone else?
I have a problem owning white just in general. So
We're all sloppy here. Let's.
All right, next one is the Energy Kit, the OG, the first one that we saw. Actually, they introduced us in Andrew Road. This is the one that we saw burn for the first time. This is my personal favorite. The Wave is very close. This is my personal favorite. Curious to get opinions on the OG. Zach,
This is also my favorite.
that's your favorite too?
Co-favorites. I love it.
Okay, anybody else?
Good lad.
It's the best.
number
Here's the
two.
best. That's your number two. I'm curious because just for the logo, the amber logo and the new blue logo. What do you guys think?
Amber.
I mean, the amber. This is the badge, in my opinion. Like the blue, as much as I like it, is an alternate basically for this year. I think. I always say this kit will always be the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Rhode Island FC, just because it's the kit we saw them play in all year in our first season. So
That's why our wardrobe is the way it is.
yes, yeah, exactly. So this one we caught some flack for our ratings on the during the live show. But so I mean,
Yeah, so myself, Timmy, and Hands had this dead last, and we got a lot of hate for it. I love the towns and cities being implemented in it. It's too damn much amber, and it looks horrible with the amber shorts. Like amber is a great accent color. It does not work. Players have told me this is their least favorite too. So I'll say that.
Players.
I've said it. I've said it before on Tide Talk. So like and subscribe. You can go back to the archives. Mr. Noah Fuson is not a fan of the road kid. Not a fan. Just gonna say that.
That's why he's asked on the bench. This one, when the first two came out, this kid and the energy kit. Before we saw it in person, I liked this one better. Once we actually saw it in person, I like the energy kit better. I don't like the way the shape of this one, like the way the shoulders are. But of all the details across the 4 different jerseys, my favorite is having the talons all laid out there. So I love that about this one. That's it. I did rank this one last because I just like the color schemes of all the other ones.
I think I like the ropes inside. Yeah.
That is a cool accent too. I think it's really funny that the skinniest guy up here said the shape of it was weird, but all right, let's switch gears a little bit and we'll kind of recap RIFC's offseason and we'll start with Andrew and the initial roster decisions.
So as you all know, the initial roster decisions drop a little bit after the season, usually right around Thanksgiving. I think it was a little bit after Thanksgiving for this year. And this is the initial wave of news. And we know that when this comes out, this isn't the final roster of what they're looking to do next year, but really what they've decided on in terms of current contracts that were expiring with options. A lot of USL contracts are heavy with option years. So when this first came out, you can see on that far left column, the majority of the team was returning. And then we saw options exercised for Koke, for Amos, for JJ, and for Kevin Vang. So the ones that we knew that weren't coming back or were not likely to come back in terms of the options declined, Cole Dewhurst, Will Meyer, Isaac Hanking, and then Tyler Yoshi. And then you had certain players that were out of contract. By the time this came out, we knew that Joe Brito was going to be retiring and going into the workforce. Mark Ibarra, Rio, and Jackson. So for some of these, we knew Jackson Lee was likely going to be going somewhere else. For someone like Mark, there was a question of, do they sign him to a new contract? So this is that first wave. My initial reaction here was I'm surprised this many people were coming back. It felt like at the end of the year that there was, maybe people weren't necessarily happy or all the players weren't necessarily happy with their current situation, with their playing time, with how the season played out. So I thought some people would be leaving. Honestly, I thought Jorge would not come back. He seemed really heated at the end of the year with the way things played out for him at the end there. So I was surprised to see just how many people were returning, at least in this initiative.
All right, next is our newcomers. So looking at these newcomers, yell out, who's your favorite new player you saw play Saturday at Tidewater? Leo, I heard Petty. Anyone else? So I would say Leo as another attacking option with JJ up top, really exciting. Petty, phenomenal on the ball in his debut. Matt Hands, big shout out to him for calling it out in the blogs. I called it out in the offseason overview episode. I was like, if they're bringing in this kid from Argentina on loan, they're going to play him, and he's going to be good. And I think we saw that in 63 minutes in his debut. And then I think the other big piece of this is Nick Scardina. But he is the prototypical right back for Kano's system, and it allows Clay Holstad to play in the midfield, which we all want to see. And Clay balled out on Saturday, pulling strings back there. Ryan and I went on our podcast Sunday night, and we got a lot of slander. And we tried to track down the person that did it. So, Andrew, can you go to the next slide for me? This is an amateur sketch of the person, the president of the Nick Scardina hate club. If you think you know who he is, let me know after. If you think he looked like a leprechaun, say yeah.
And you're the top street hooligan?
We got to pull up that you got to make reference to that video if you haven't seen it, the Mobile, Alabama leprechaun video, the amateur sketch. Great stuff. But I think those three are the top 3 S-tier candidates for having a really good season here at
You look like a leprechaun to me.
Yep.
Okay. I would say the least funny part about that bit is that Matt sent me the graphic today and said, "Can you add this into the camera?" So I put it there.
Matt Hand sent us the leprechaun video, that clip, and I go, I got a bit for it. And he goes, I knew you would. And I sent that. And so I told Timmy knew the picture, but didn't know where we were going with it. I'm sure he couldn't assume, but
I actually had no idea. No, you got me pretty good.
All right.
That's reality. So yeah, departures. I don't even know that I need to recap them, but anyone who do you think we're gonna miss the most during the course of this season? It's an easy one for me, but that's fair. I don't even
Chico's spanking balls. I need a
And don't go.
defender.
Were you the first person to yell Maxi? Ball knower. You got the score prediction right on Saturday, and that's the correct answer for this. But in the interest of time, I won't recap them. Let's pop on here. Anything you guys want to say, I guess, about the match on Saturday, just in the interest of keeping it moving? I thought it was a really good performance. You go. Take it away.
You guys nailed this one.
Scardina stuff. I generally agree with your assessment that he was good, not great, but I agree with Matt and Ryan that his presence alone, he just needs to be representative there, and I think he'll be a lot better than that. I think what we saw was just the beginning. I think he'll be a lot better than the way that he played last Saturday, but I think it was an okay performance, but allowing him being there and putting in a representative performance allowed Clay to really be Clay. He was my player of the match, Clay was, and that couldn't have happened without Scardina.
I completely agree. I think Scardina is going to be very good. My comments.
Andrew, go back into the slides. Go back into the slides, please. There it is. All right. Remember, Matt Kerwin tonight here, Title High Motor, starting the Nick Scardina fan club. If you want to join, come talk to me. If you see that guy anywhere, please point him out. Let me know. We're gonna, I don't know, throw him over the rail or something tonight. All right. So next up, we have, I think Sporting Jacks, it was a really good game. It was much better than we saw last year. A lot more shots. The biggest takeaway for me, we didn't pass the ball backwards. We did not pass the ball backwards. Versus last season, it was backwards. Reminds me of a certain team I watch in England. Timmy would know well. Backwards. Leading to a relegation ball, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So next up, we have the Open Cup versus CD Faialense tonight. The format is as follows.
Yeah, so the reason we're all here, the U.S. Open Cup, long-standing historic tournament in the United States. It's basically a multi-round knockout competition hitting all levels of U.S. soccer, from amateur, open division, all the way up to the MLS. MLS teams are going to be entering the third round of the competition this year. So this round, the first round, is going to be 32 amateur teams versus 32 professional teams. Combination mostly of USL Championship and USL League One teams. I think with 2 MLS Next Pro teams filling it out. So before we review our opponent for tonight, CD Faialense, we're just going to recap the short history of Rhode Island FC in the competition.
Yeah, so this is the third year that RIFC is going to be participating in this Open Cup. The first year, you may recall, a very exciting game that didn't end too well.
Nick Scardina.
Independence, who was a lower division team. This was an exciting game. I think we tied it late in the match, right? Let's see.
Went to penalties.
And then it went to extra time. We scored. It was tied up there. Went to penalties. So unfortunately, we lost that one, which was a bit of a disappointment. But we were still very early in our first season. Last year, great game up in Portland on a Tuesday or Wednesday night. A night very similar to this.
Love beating Portland.
Fun Portland night. Went up 2-0. Got goals from Holstead and from the Darcy. Then Portland scored, and it kind of made a nervy ending. But it was a great first edition in this new rivalry of ours. In the next round, we had another rivalry against the Revs. They came to our house. It was a tight game. They scored in the 88th minute to win it. So it didn't work out for us there, but really excited to have gotten games against 2 close rivals. And I think this competition, even though the format changes every year, I think this is what we're going to have to look forward to, is getting to play those close rivals every single year.
Yeah, so getting to CD Faialense, and this is going to lead into our final game or segment of the night, so bear with us. CD Faialense is a Cambridge-based club formed in the early 1970s by a group of Azorean immigrants from the island of Faial. So that's where the name Faialense comes from. I apologize to the Portuguese people in the room and I'm doing my best.
I'll give them 7 out of 10.
Yeah, so they play in the Bay State Soccer League, which is an amateur league, top division, Division 1, and they've been pretty dominant over the last few years in that league. So I know that we hear the word amateur and you think these guys, like most of us, came from their day jobs today, and that is true, but I'm not expecting them to necessarily roll over and be an easy game. This is their second consecutive year qualifying for the U.S. Open Cup. You may remember last year they were actually the team that lost to Portland in the first round 4-0. But I still don't think that necessarily means it's going to be an easy game. These are players who have played competitively for their entire life. Many of them still with professional jobs in and around the game of soccer. So we highlighted 3 players here. I won't go through them specifically, but you can pretty much all D1 athletes, former D1 athletes. So I'm expecting pretty competitive game. And to that point, something that we wanted to talk about, and we're going to introduce the next segment here, is basically how heavily is Kano going to rotate? How much can he rotate? Who can he start and still get the result that we need, knowing that an MLS team is only 2 wins away in this competition? So that he's on the list. We're gonna go through. So the question is really, I'm gonna hand it off to Matt. The question is really, do you think that these players will start tonight? We're gonna start with Jacob Castro.
So before we get into this, for all you club collector sickos out there, we have an exclusive code. So get your phones out. This will get you some packs added to your collection. It's not just like a Tide Talk logo. You're gonna get players from this one. Craig reached deep into the fat pockets to make this happen today. So shout out to our good friend Craig for doing this. I didn't even tell these guys the code yet. They asked for it, and I was just like, "Hey, like and subscribe. Maybe you'll be there. Maybe you'll pick it up."
I'm ready.
So if you go to packs, enter code. Look at the suspense. I love it.
Give me it.
Shamrock 26, all lowercase, all one word. That'll get you like 3 packs added to your collection. Hopefully bolster you up today in your club collector. Thank you again to Craig for doing that. If you haven't already, you can enter the code up to Tide 26, all lowercase, all one word, to get some more packs added to your collection. But set those lineups, get that going. So we're gonna start with Jacob Castro, defender. Do we think he's starting today? Anyone?
No.
Bakers?
I think no.
I'm going yes on this one. I think this is a good game for him to start and kind of rotate.
On the bench on Saturday.
Meyer.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, Castro. I think he could. I think Will Meyer got the spot. There. I think he could start tonight. I say it. All right. So we got a bunch of no's. I'm the only yes. I don't think it's Will Meyer. That's why. That's why I'm saying yes to Castro. He wasn't on the injury report. Also worth noting.
True.
All right. Next up, we have CJ Williams, defender. That's who was in my mind when I was first going through it. I was reading the last one. I have yes on this one. What do we got?
I think no.
We got some no's. So we don't have a lot of center back depth, losing Ayman Mavika. We also saw Jope on the injured report. So I think Williams gets to start tonight. I really do.
I agree.
We got to agree from Quadros. Kenny says no.
I say no.
Wait, so who do you think would start instead?
Same back
Lucky
as
back.
Saturday.
You think there's no rotation?
Kenny thinks the back line's not changing. All right.
That's crazy.
We're on to Hugo Bacharach. I'm a strong no on this one. We saw Zachary Haraval get injured, and they seemed very reluctant to put Hugo in. He looked a step or two behind, kind of what we've normally seen from him. So I think if he's able to get some rest, we see it. How about you, crowd? Hugo?
Let him rest. Let him rest.
Let him rest.
Rest. Hearing a lot of rest in the crowd.
Start, but I want to see it. So.
What do you got, Timmy?
I think no. His shoulder was really wrapped up when he was coming in on Saturday, so I'm gonna go with no.
And Quadros is also a no. Did I hear a yes over there? Somewhere?
That was let him rest.
Let him rest. Let him rest. All right. Okay. I'm totally with you. Next up, Rhode Island legend, Evan Van. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have him captained in the club collector lineup tonight. He plays, he scores. Kevin Vang. Starting? Crowd, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Timmy?
Yeah.
Timmy's got a yes, Quadros?
A reluctant.
Hey, the players voted him their player of the year last year for all of his locker room training contributions. Speaks a lot to him. I think Mr. Vang comes in. I think he finds the back of the net today. Next up, Eddie Rodriguez played 63 minutes on Saturday.
Play.
Yes.
We're going.
For sure.
No, we're going. Will he start?
Oh, no, he'll start. Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
We got yes from the crowd, mostly yes. I think he's going. Personally, I think he's going to do the reverse of what he did Saturday. I think he's going to come on for 30. I don't see him start. That's my take on it. Timmy?
I hope he starts. I need to see more. I love this.
I just think he's going to be a key player, and I think they want to rest him and have him ready to go for Louisville.
Perfect. Next up, Go Peters, another local product coming from Brown. Crowd will start.
I'm gonna say
Start.
Starts.
Irvin's got start. We got a bunch of no's in the crowd. Timmy's got no.
no.
Quadro says yes.
If he says no, I'm saying no. That's the
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go yes, because I'm going to. We'll transition to the next one, which is Logan Dorsey. And seeing those two strikers on Saturday, I'm going yes for Logan Dorsey after that sub appearance, the first goal. And I think he partners with Gogo on this one. It's either going to be him and Gogo or him and Noah up top. That's kind of my prediction for this one. How about you, crowd? Logan, start.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Timmy, yep.
Yeah.
We kind of went with a smaller grouping, but I think Atkinson, we all kind of see as starting in this one. I think we're all we're all kind of heavy in on getting some busy in on this one. But all right. Last but not least, score predictions. Let's kick it over to Mr. Quadros.
I'm going 5-1 RIFC.
I've got 3-0. 3-0 RFC.
Who? RIFC?
Yes.
4-1 RAFC. Crowd? Mac, what do you got? That's a big
4-2.
4-2. All right. Graham? 1-1. Get out of here, Graham. You can't say that. You can't copy. Zach was right last time. You can't copy him.
4-2.
Marilyn?
I got a 2-0.
2-0. Zach? You're the only one we have right on Tailgate Talk, so this is big. 2-0. Rhode Island? All right.
He doubled it from earlier.
And he did. He won a little bit. Anyone else? Any score predictions? Urban?
5-0.
5-0. Love it. What do you got?
5-1.
5-1. All right. So we're pretty high on the amber and blue tonight, or the navy and teal, if you will. But hopefully we can get out of here and get a win. So apologize for our technical difficulties and getting started a little bit late. It's just after 6, so we can pay our bills. Make sure you tip your bartender pretty good, and your waitress and waiter. And we'll head over our abbreviated marks of the match for this one. Let's go cheer on the boys and hopefully advance to the next round of the U.S. Open. Thanks again for joining. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And as always, up to Todd. We're just gonna end it, Andrew. We're just gonna end the live. All right. Thank you guys. Sorry, we'll watch Andrew try to end it too and see if this hopefully.